making body of the new Patriotic Party, receive some recommendations from the steering committee and approve of the recommendations and forward same to National Council. At National Council, the recommendations were based on the timelines for the new Patriotic Party, internal elections, and the guidelines. Without wasting much time, I'll proceed to announce to the general public, the rank and file of our party, the timelines for the new Patriotic Party internal elections. The party begins our internal elections with the continuation of registration of members. If you all recall, somewhere in November 2025, I issued a memo to the constituency and regional party respectively to start our party registration at the various polling stations and further to organize polling station meetings. So we are continuing with that process, and that process starts from 1st of March to 31st March 2026. That will be registration of members. The data entry of members who have been registered shall be between 1st April to 10th April 2026. After data entry will be verification of registered members. That will be from 14th to 16th of April 2026. Once this exercise is completed, the party will kickstart our internal elections. It starts with opening and closing of nominations for polling station elections, which shall be between 20th to 24th April 2026. Vetting for polling station aspirants will be from 25th to 30th April 2026. Appeals will be from 1st to 4th May 2026. The notice of poll will be from 6th to 9th of May 2026. The elections of our polling station executives will be from 10th to 16th May 2026. Then data entry and validation of polling station executive album will be from 17th to 21st May 2026. When we are done with the polling station elections, we'll move straight to Electoral Area Executive Committee elections. Open and closing of nominations for Electoral Area elections shall be from 23rd to 25th of May 2026. The vetting will be from 26th to 31st May 2026. Then appeals will be received from 1st to 4th June 2026. Notice of poll will be from 5th to 8th June 2026. Elections of our electoral area executives will be from 10th to 15th June 2026. Then data entry and validation of electoral area executives will be from 16th to 20th June 2026. In all these activities, the responsible office for all these activities will be the Constituency Executive Committee and the Regional Steering Committee, with oversight responsibility by the National Secretariat. For Constituency Executive Committee elections, open and closing of nominations shall be from 22nd to 24th of June 2026. Vetting shall be 25th to 27th of June 2026. Appeals shall be received from 28th to 30th June 2026. Then notice of polls will be from 2nd to 5th July 2026. Elections of constituency officers shall be from 11th to 12th July 2026. Then data entry and validation of constituency executive album will be from 13th to 26th July 2026. Then we move on to chapter and external branch elections. For NPP, when we speak of chapter and external branch, it refers to our diaspora party, our brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora. For chapter elections, opening, closing of nominations, vetting, appeals, elections, data entry, and validation of album is expected to take place within this period, 20th June to 19th July 2026. Branch elections shall be between branch opening and closing of nominations, and vetting, appeals, data entry, and validation of album shall be from 15 July to 9th August. 15 July to 9th August 2026. It's expected that opening, closing of nominations, vetting, appeals, elections, data entry, and validation of the diaspora album would have been completed. Then we proceed to regional executive committee elections. Opening and closing of nominations for regional executive elections shall be from 15 to 17 July 2026. The vetting shall be from 20th to 23rd July 2026. Appeals shall be from 24th to 26th July 2026. Then notice of poll shall be from 27th to 30th July 2026. The elections of regional executive officers shall be from 8th to 9th August 2026. Then data entry and validation of regional executive album shall be from 10th to 23rd August 2026. Now to the matter of all elections, national elections. National executive elections are as follows, the processes and the procedures. Opening and closing of nominations shall be from 10th to 14th of August. Filing of nominations shall be from 15th to 17th August. Vetting of aspirants shall be from 20th to 23rd of August 2026. Release of vetting report shall be on the 25th of August. Appeals shall be taken from 28th to 29th of August. Then the elections shall be held between 18th to 20th of September 2026. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the timelines for the party's internal elections. Because of these timelines, National Council took notice of the fact that the tenure of office of some officers would expire in the course of these elections or before these elections. And therefore, by the power vested in National Council, it is established as follows. The polling station executive tenure has been extended from 5th March to 16th May 2026. Electoral area coordinators has been extended from 20th March to 15th June 2026. Constituency executive tenure has also been extended from 24th April to 12th July 2026. Chapter executive tenure has been extended from 24th April to 19th July. Branch executives, which I mean are diaspora branch, not the other branch. And I know the other branch. We are talking about NPP diaspora branch. From 22nd May 2026 to 9th August 2026. Regional executives from 22nd May to 9th August 2026. The national executives from 16th July to 20th September 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, with this done, I have to take you through the guidelines for our internal elections. And this will take time, so I plead with you to exercise patience whilst I take you through the guidelines for our internal elections 2026. These rules and regulations governing the conduct of the party's internal elections are made pursuant to Article 18 and other relevant provisions of the Constitution of the New Patriotic Party as amended, which vests the National Council with the authority to prescribe guidelines for the effective administration and operation of the party at all levels. Guided by the findings and recommendations of Okwe Elections Review Committee on the party's 2024 electoral performance, especially concerns about the delegate system and organizational structure, the party has resolved to undertake comprehensive reforms to strengthen its internal democratic processes. Determined to entrench discipline, orderliness, transparency, and fairness in the conduct of internal elections, these rules and regulations affirm the party's enduring commitment to democratic values, credible competition, and equal opportunity for all aspirants, while decisively addressing the shortcomings that have characterized previous internal electoral processes. The party recognizes the necessity to rebuild, reorganize, and reposition through credible and merit-based elections of dedicated, competent, and principled officers to manage its affairs at all levels. The objective being to secure victory in the 2028 general elections. And the party is cognizant of the decisive step taken in its rebuilding agenda by electing its presidential candidate for the 2028 general elections. Therefore, it finds it imperative to proceed deliberately and strategically in establishing robust, coherent, and sustainable structures for the elections of party officers from polling stations level through the electoral area, constituency, and external branches to the regional and national levels. Now, therefore, the new Patriotic Party, at its meeting of the NEC and National Council, hereby enact and adopt these rules and regulations for the conduct of the party's internal elections at all levels of the party. Registration of members. The National Executive Committee and the National Council of the new Patriotic Party has directed that prior to the commencement of the party internal elections, for the elections of party executives from polling station level to the national level, a comprehensive registration of party members shall be undertaken, which are stated in the timelines. Accordingly, the period from 1st to 31st March 2026 has been designated for this critical exercise. This registration exercise constitutes a fundamental pillar of the party's internal electoral process and is intended to ensure accuracy, credibility, and integrity in the conduct of the forthcoming elections. Pursuant to Article 3 of the NPP Constitution as amended, the registration of members shall be conducted at respective polling stations where members ordinarily cast their ballot during national elections. To facilitate this exercise, the party shall dispatch official membership register to all polling stations, and those who already have the register are supposed to continue with the register. These registers shall be made available at designated venues during polling station meetings, where members are required to personally record their names and relevant details. The key word is the registration can only take place at polling station meetings. So nobody can sit in his home or a home to compile this list. This list shall be compiled at polling station meetings. So when there is no polling station meetings, then registration cannot also take place. And the party will strictly monitor and make sure the right thing is done. All party members are therefore strongly urged to proceed to their respective polling stations within the stipulated period to have their names duly captured in the polling station membership register. For the avoidance of doubt, only members whose details are duly entered into the official membership register at the polling station shall be eligible to vote or to contest in the forthcoming polling station elections. Failure to participate in this one-month membership registration exercise shall automatically disqualify a member from voting or contesting in the party's internal elections. This registration exercise is mandatory and indispensable to the successful conduct of the party's internal democratic process. So what it means is that even if you have party card, you still have to go to your polling stations to take part in the registration exercise. Without that, he cannot take part in the polling station elections. And as General Secretary, as a registered member of the party, I will go to my polling station to register so that I can take part in the voting exercise at my polling station. The Constituency Secretariat, comprising the Constituency Secretary, Constituency Organizer, Deputy Secretary, Research and Elections Officer, and IT Officer, shall, under the supervision of the respective Constituency Executive Committee, key in the details of all polling station members into the party's membership management system. But where we have a sitting member of parliament, the sitting member of parliament shall nominate a representative to be part of the data entry team. Polling stations meetings, as I indicated. All polling stations meetings are supposed to happen within the month of March, and at least every polling station is supposed to have one meeting every week. At least in the course of the week, you are supposed to have one meeting. Every registered party member is required to at least one of such meetings at his or her respective polling station. Where polling stations are organized in clusters, joint meetings may be held for the purposes of coordination and efficiency. Notwithstanding this arrangement, each polling station shall maintain a separate membership register and records, which must not, under any circumstances, be merged with those of another polling station. You agree with me that in some places, you have one center having multiple polling centers. Polling station A, polling station B, but they are all in one center. So to organize polling station meetings, it will be difficult to have one polling station meeting from the other because they are all found in one place. So it is allowed for those polling stations in that center, what we refer to as cluster, to hold one polling station. But in so doing, at the point of registration, they must take the voter's ID card to register each member in their polling station register. And that is very important. Venues and times for all polling station meetings within each constituency shall and officially be published by the Constituency Executive Committee before the start of the registration. So before 1st of March, it's the duty of the Constituency Executive Committee to furnish National Party with the list of the venue and times of all polling station meetings in their respective constituencies. It is important that as a party, before one is able to take part in our elections, the person must be a member of good standing. And therefore, payment of dues is very important and crucial to our parties. So members who want to pay their dues are advised to go through the following means. You can dial star 920 star 270 hash on all networks. Star 920 star 270 hash on all networks to pay your membership dues, or you can also do same on the NPP mobile app. Attendance at every polling station shall be properly recorded, and all members present shall sign or thumbprint at the attendance register accordingly. Now to the rules and regulations for polling station elections. Ladies and gentlemen, the polling station elections shall be supervised by a representative appointed by the Regional Steering Committee and the Constituency Executive Committee. The representative from the Regional Steering Committee shall be the chairperson for the polling station supervision committee. The National Secretariat shall have oversight responsibility over the conduct of the polling station elections at each constituency. Polling station elections shall be conducted by a 3-member polling station elections committee across the constituency within the scheduled time or scheduled dates. So what it means is that once the regional representative and the constituency executive committee meet, they are supposed to form the polling station elections committee. They are the ones who are supposed to conduct the elections, while the regional and the constituency executive committee will provide the supervisory role. They are supposed to supervise the elections. The polling station election committee for each constituency, as I indicated, shall be appointed by the constituency executive committee and the regional steering committee, provided that those who are supposed to be members of the polling station election committee must be those who reside in the constituency and vote in the constituency. In constituencies where the party has a sitting member of parliament, the MP shall nominate one representative out of the 3-member polling station elections committee. So let's take note of it. Let's take note of it. Where we have a sitting member of parliament, the MP shall nominate one representative out of the 3-member polling station elections committee. The constituency executive committee shall furnish the regional steering committee and the national secretariat with the list of the polling station elections committee at least 1 week before the opening of nomination for polling station elections. As we have indicated, polling station elections, we will open nominations, and before we open the nominations, those who are going to conduct the polling station elections, who are to be appointed by the constituency executive committee, that list should be furnished by the committee to the national secretariat even before we open nominations. In selecting the members of the polling station elections committee, the criteria shall be that 1, a person can be a senior party member, former party executive, former MMDC, former member of parliament, former parliamentary candidate, serving or former assembly member or former government appointees, and an opinion leader in the constituency. These are the area or the pool from which the constituency election supervisory committee can appoint the members of the polling station election committee from. Again, all polling station elections committee shall not conduct more than 10 polling station elections without the prior approval of the national secretariat. So what it means is that those 3-member committee that has been appointed as polling station elections committee, they can only conduct elections for 10 polling stations, only 10 polling stations. Outside the 10, they have to get clearance from the national secretariat. Most importantly also, members of the polling station elections committee shall not be eligible to contest in the polling station elections, electoral area, or constituency executive committee elections. What it means is that if you harbor any interest to become a polling station executive, electoral area executive, or constituency officer, you cannot directly be part of this exercise. You cannot be a member of the polling station elections committee, because once you have an interest, you cannot be part of this committee. We don't want any interest in this process. The polling station elections committee shall adopt the venue for polling station meetings as venue for the conduct of the polling station elections within the time frame approved by the National Council. What it means is that the polling station elections committee are supposed to conduct the polling station elections at the venue where the polling station meetings are held. So therefore, you cannot choose a different venue. You cannot use someone's house, you cannot use someone's place to do the polling station election, or let that place the venue for the polling station meeting. All this is important to ensure that there is a credibility and transparency in the conduct of the polling station elections. Then the venue and dates for the polling station elections must be widely published by the polling station election committee at least 4 days to the scheduled date for the elections. So if there is going to be a polling station, the notice must be given at least 4 days before the polling station elections are conducted. And voting shall be conducted between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Again, it is important that the polling station election committee, for them to conduct any polling station elections, they can only do so within the hours of 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. The voting shall be by ballot or head count where there are 2 or more aspirants, and by acclamation where there is only 1 aspirant. Again, the nomination fee, anyone who wants to contest at the polling station election shall pay 10 Ghana cedis. 10 Ghana cedis for the forms. You know, we are very considerate and we understand the hardship that Ghanaians are going through. So at least we need to sympathize with those who are aspiring to contest for positions. Another important point that we need to also take note of is that nomination forms can be or shall be acquired from the polling station elections committee or at the constituency secretariat at the cost of 10 cedis as I indicated. The forms can also be downloaded from the party's website, www.newpatrioticparty.org, where an aspiring polling station executive downloads the forms from the website. He or she shall pay the required 10 cedis to the polling station elections committee upon submission of the completed form. And where an aspirant is unable or is denied the opportunity to file his nomination or her nomination at the polling station elections committee, he or she may, through a petition, file his nomination at the constituency, regional or national secretariat. An aspiring polling station executive shall be nominated by one person and seconded by 2 registered members of the party, all of whom shall be party members in good standing at the polling station. So therefore, if you want to contest for any position at the polling station, you have to be nominated by one person and seconded by 2 registered members at the polling station whose names are in the register. The polling station election committee shall receive the completed nomination form from each aspiring polling station executive. The polling station elections committee again shall be responsible for vetting all aspiring polling station executives in the polling stations. Furthermore, each polling station executive committee shall provide the notice of poll, which shall be made available at least 4 days to the date of the elections. Appeals by a person aggrieved with the decision of the polling station elections committee shall be submitted to the constituency executive committee. The constituency executive committee shall within 48 hours hear the appeal and make determination. Where a petitioner is dissatisfied with the decision of the constituency executive committee, such person shall refer it to the regional steering committee and their decision shall be final. For qualification and eligibility, a person who wishes to contest in our polling station elections must be one, a registered member of the NPP. If you are not a registered member, you can certainly not contest to become a polling station executive. That one is fair. Then you must be a member in good standing. That means you must have paid your membership dues in full. For NPP, you can even pay 2 cedis a month as a membership dues. We are a party that's very considerate. So the whole year is 24 cedis. So you must make sure that you have paid your dues before you can contest. Also importantly, to be able to become a polling station executive or to be able to contest, you must reside at the electoral area where the polling station is located and vote at the polling station. This point is also very important. We don't want a situation whereby someone does not reside in the electoral area but wants to become a polling station executive. It is not allowed in these internal elections. You must reside in the electoral area before you can contest for a polling station position, and you must vote at that polling station you intend to contest. Then you must also demonstrate your active membership in the party for at least 1 year. Then you must be a registered voter with the Electoral Commission of Ghana. So it is only those who are registered voters who can become executives at the polling station. Then you must not have forfeited your membership, which means that in the 2024 elections, you shouldn't have supported a different candidate or party aside the New Patriotic Party. If you did, then you are disqualified from contesting for position at the polling station. In the case of an applicant for any of the organizational ring, polling station organizer, youth organizer, women organizer, the person must demonstrate strong fitness, vibrance, and agility. You must demonstrate that indeed you can do your job in the organizational ring. In the case of an applicant for polling station secretary and electoral affairs officer, the applicant must at least possess senior high school qualification. In the case of an applicant for polling station youth organizer, you must not have attained more than 40 years. It is the duty of the polling station executive, it's the duty of an aspiring polling station executive to satisfy the polling station elections committee that he or she has met all the above qualification and eligibility requirements. Ladies and gentlemen, we are painstakingly going through this process because we want to have a credible elections. We want to have a transparent elections. So that at the end of the day, just as how we were able to peacefully and successfully conduct the presidential primary, that Ghanaians are giving us commendation, we will see the same commendation in our polling station elections. That's why we are very particular coming out with these watertight guidelines. I don't know. Persons who qualify to vote the polling station elections shall be party members whose names are captured in the polling station register and have paid their dues for at least 1 year before the election. So what it means is that if you want to vote in the polling station elections, at least your name must be registered in the party's register and you must have paid your dues at least 1 year. So if General Secretary wants to go and vote at my polling station, Krabi Asqua, then I must make sure that my name is in the polling station register and I must have paid my dues at least 1 year before I can vote in the polling station elections. For identification purposes, voters shall use their party membership card or the National Party dues booklet, but where same is unavailable, any national ID will be admitted for the purpose of voting. Then after all this has been done, the election has taken place, we know we have our executives at the polling station, we need to capture their information. The group or the team that are supposed to do this work is headed by the constituency secretary, assisted by the deputy secretary, research and elections officer, and the constituency IT officer. In collaboration with the polling station election committees, shall key in the details of executives an electronic system that the party has developed and will be made available to various constituencies. In constituencies where the party has a sitting member of parliament, the MP shall nominate a representative to be part of the data entry team. The said details shall be verified by the constituency executive committee and validated by the regional steering committee. We have been talking about polling station. So which positions are people supposed to contest? The positions for the positions are polling station chairperson, polling station secretary, polling station organizer, polling station women organizer, polling station youth organizer, polling station electoral affairs officer, and polling station communications officer. 7 positions. So if any of you here is a known party person, a registered NPP member, these are the positions and you can equally contest when you open nominations. To electoral area. For electoral area elections, it shall be supervised by the constituency executive committee and the regional steering committee. The national secretariat shall have oversight responsibility over the conduct of the electoral area elections in each constituency. The electoral area elections shall be conducted by 3-member electoral area elections committees constituted as follows. 1 representative appointed by the regional steering committee who shall be the chairpersons of the committee. Then 2 members appointed by the constituency executive committee. In constituencies where the party has a sitting member of parliament, the MP shall nominate 1 out of the 2 representatives. An electoral area elections committee shall not conduct more than 5 electoral area elections. That is, the committee that will conduct the electoral area elections, they can only conduct 5 electoral areas. If they want to do more, they need to get an explicit approval from the National Secretariat. No member of the Electoral Area Elections Committee shall be eligible to contest in the electoral area elections and or the constituency executive elections. So therefore, so far as you are a member of the Electoral Area Elections Committee, you are stopped from contesting electoral area elections or constituency elections. Polling station officers are eligible to contest in the electoral area executive elections without being required to resign from their positions. In the past, before one can contest electoral area elections, if you were polling station executive, you needed to resign. By this time around, you don't need to resign. You can go and contest. When you win, then your position becomes vacant, then you'll be replaced. But when you don't win, then you go back and assume your position as polling station executive. The Electoral Area Committee, the Electoral Area Elections Committee shall determine the venue and dates for the conduct of the electoral area elections within the time frame approved by the National Council. The notice of poll shall be made available to each electoral area at least 4 days to the date of the elections, and voting shall take place within the hours of 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's important that we take note of that we cannot hold electoral area elections outside these stipulated times between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. And voting shall be by ballot or head count where there are 2 or more aspirants, and by acclamation where there is only 1 aspirant. Nomination fees or nomination forms can be paid at the cost of 50 cedis. So if you want to become an electoral area executive, once you pick your nomination forms, when you are submitting, they will pay 50 cedis. Likewise, as I indicated in the constituency, the polling station elections, you can purchase the form from our website, which I've stated supra, at the cost of 50 cedis, and you must submit the forms together with 50 cedis when you appear before the committee, the elections committee. An aspiring electoral area executive shall be nominated by 1 person and seconded by 3 registered members of the party, all of whom shall be in good standing and party members at that particular electoral area. For appeal, anyone who is dissatisfied with the work, or any aspirant who is dissatisfied with the work of the electoral area, it is the duty of the constituency executive committee to, within 48 hours, hear the appeal and make determination. Where a person is dissatisfied, an aspiring electoral area executive is dissatisfied, he has the right to appeal to the regional steering committee and further appeal to the National Secretariat. Qualification and eligibility. To be able to contest area elections, one must be a registered member in that electoral area. They must be a member of good standing, which means that you must have paid your dues at least 1 year before the elections. You must not have forfeited your membership. And also, in the case of positions such as organizer, you must demonstrate strong fitness, vibrance, and agility. In the case of an electoral area secretary and electoral affairs, the applicant must at least have senior high school qualification. Possesses persons entitled to vote are all elected polling station executives within the electoral area. Then once again, the data capturing shall be done by the constituency secretariat, headed by the constituency secretary, assisted by the deputy secretary, organizer, research and elections, and IT officer. They, in collaboration with the electoral area committee, shall compile this list. And once again, in constituency where the party has a certain member of parliament, the MP shall nominate a representative to be part of that data. Their work will be verified by the Constituency Executive Committee and validated by the Regional Steering Committee. The positions to be contested for at the electoral area are Electoral Area Chairperson, Electoral Area Secretary, Electoral Area Organizer, Electoral Affairs Officer, and electoral area communication officer. We are now at constituency. Certainly we will get there. I know some are struggling to take the shot, but it's the nature of the job. I'm also sweating during the delivery, so it's all part of it. 27. The constituency executive elections shall be conducted at the constituency delegate conference. The constituency elections shall be conducted by constituency elections committee as follows: a national representative appointed by the national steering committee, a regional representative appointed by the regional steering committee, chairman of the council of elders for the constituency, chairman of the constituency patrons, a respected elderly woman appointed by the constituency executive committee, the constituency research and elections officer, and the constituency IT officer. A member of the constituency elections committee shall not be eligible to contest in the constituency election. So once you're a member of the elections committee, you are stopped from contesting the constituency elections. Where any member of the constituency elections committee intends to contest in the constituency elections, the constituency executive committee shall appoint a replacement for him or her on the elections committee. The constituency elections is responsible for the committee. One representative appointed by the National Steering Committee, who shall be the chair, one person appointed by the Regional Steering Committee, and one representative appointed. If you want to contest for 1,500, constituency is a bit higher, so polling station 10 Ghana, electoral area 50, but for constituency 1,500. Then for Ghana cedis, all other positions are 500 Ghana cedis. Constituency chairman, constituency first vice chairman, constituency second vice chairman, constituency secretary, constituency deputy secretary, constituency treasurer, constituency organizer, constituency women organizer, constituency youth organizer, constituency Nasara organizer, and constituency communication officer. These are the positions that one can aspire to. Shall not be eligible to contest in the constituency executive elections unless he or she satisfy all the following conditions. Must be a registered member of the party in the constituency he intends to contest. Must be in good standing, that he must have paid all his dues in full. Resides and vote in the constituency, and must demonstrate active membership in the constituency for at least 2 years. It must not have forfeited his membership. I have explained what forfeiture means in our party. In the case of constituency secretary, then in the appointment of research officer and electoral affairs officer, the applicant must have at least a diploma or higher qualification. So in case you want to contest for the position of constituency secretary, you must have minimum diploma or higher qualification. But when these elections are done, appointments are also supposed to be made. In making the appointment for research officer and electoral affairs officer, the minimum qualification will also be diploma or higher qualifications. Persons who are entitled to vote in the constituency elections are all the members of the constituency executive committee, all the members of the electoral area executive committee, all polling station executives in the constituency, 5 members of the Constituency Council of Elders, 5 constituency patrons, any founding member from the constituency who is a signatory to the registration documents of the party at the Electoral Commission, national officers who vote in the constituency, then regional officers who vote in the constituency. The presence of at least 1/3 of the delegates of the constituency shall be necessary to constitute the quorum of the constituency delegate conference. Once these elections are done, it is expected that constituency secretariat, headed by the constituency secretary, the constituency deputy secretary, constituency organizer, electoral affairs officer, and the IT officer shall key in the details in the constituency electronic system that has been developed by the party. Once again, in constituencies where the party has a sitting member of parliament, the MP shall nominate a representative to be part of the data entry team. The said details shall be verified by the constituency committee and supervised by the regional and national secretariat. We are the still strong. With rules and regulations for chapter executive elections. The elections shall be conducted at the chapter by the chapter elections committee to be composed of. I've earlier on explained that the chapter and branch refers to our diaspora party. So the chapter is more like the constituency and the branch is more like the region. So you take a state like a country like US. So a chapter will be NPP group in, let's say, Washington or New York, whilst the branch is the NPP US. So that's an example. So for chapter elections committee, one rep appointed by the respective branch executive committee who shall be the chairperson. Then one person appointed by the chapter executive committee and one person appointed by the branch council of elders. A member of the chapter election committee shall not be eligible to contest for any position in the chapter elections. An aspirant in the chapter elections shall be a known and active member of the chapter in which he or she seeks to contest. An aspirant in the chapter election must be in good standing. That means he must have paid his dues in full and up to date. A person is not eligible to vote in the chapter elections unless he or she is a member in good standing. An aspirant in the chapter elections shall procure nomination forms from the chapter elections committee or download same online at a cost to be determined by the respective branch executive committee in consultation with the national secretariat. For the chapter executive elections shall be held in person. That means you must be present before you can cast your vote. Positions to be contested for in the chapter elections are chapter chairpersons, chapter vice chairpersons, chapter secretary, chapter treasurer, chapter organizer, chapter woman organizer, chapter youth organizer, chapter research officer, chapter electoral affairs, and chapter communications officer. With these guidelines from the National Council, it means that all chapters positions have been streamlined. So one country cannot have different executive positions from other countries. We are all using this same position for all the positions at the chapter. Guidelines for branch executive elections. The branch executive elections shall be conducted as follows. One representative by the National Steering Committee, who shall be the chairperson of the committee. One representative appointed by the branch executive committee. Then the branch council of elders shall constitute, the branch council of elders chairperson shall constitute the branch elections committee, and they have the power to co-opt other members into the committee. Once again, an aspirant or a person who is aspiring to contest in the branch election shall not be eligible to be member of the branch elections committee. Such a person must also be in good standing and can procure his form from the branch elections committee or download the form online. And no aspirant shall be denied the nomination form by the branch elections committee. The branch elections committee shall be responsible for the vet. For the avoidance of doubt, branch executive elections shall again be held in persons, just like the chapter election. Branch elections shall be held in persons, and therefore, if you want to vote, you must vote in person and not through any other means. The positions to be contested for are branch chairpersons, branch first vice chairperson, second vice chairperson, branch secretary, branch deputy secretary, branch treasurer, branch organizer, branch women organizer, branch youth organizer, branch Nasara organizer, and branch communication officer. The elected branch executives shall appoint qualified persons to occupy the following positions: branch research officer, branch electoral affairs officer, deputy branch women organizer, deputy branch youth organizer, deputy branch organizer, deputy branch Nasara organizer, financial secretary, PWD coordinator, and legal officer. Now to regional elections. The regional executive elections shall be conducted by the Regional Elections Committee as constituted as follows: 2 national representatives appointed by the National Steering Committee, one of whom shall be the chair and the other as secretary. Chairman of the Regional Council of Elders, chairman of the regional patrons, and 1 representative appointed by the Regional Executive Committee. 1 representative from the Regional Parliamentary Caucus, the Regional Research and Election Officer, and the Regional IT Officer will constitute the Regional Elections Committee. A member of the Regional Elections Committee shall not be eligible to contest in the regional elections, and vetting shall be done by the Regional Elections Committee. Regional appeals, where a person has an appeal from the decision of the Regional Elections Committee, a committee has been composed with the composition as 2 representatives appointed by the National Executive Committee (NEC) and 1 representative appointed by the Legal Directorate. And the Regional Appeals Committee shall make a determination within 48 hours. Where a petitioner is still dissatisfied, he may appeal against the decision of the decision to the National Steering Committee, with further recourse to the National Executive Committee, whose decision shall be final. For someone who wants to contest for regional chairmanship position, the amount is 10,000 Ghana cedis. If you want to become the regional chairperson or regional chairman, the amount is 10,000 Ghana cedis. For vice chairperson, it's 8,000 Ghana cedis, and all other positions is 5,000 Ghana cedis. However, a rebate has been given to youth, women, and persons with disability for whatever amount that each group, from constituency to region. If you are a youth, woman, or persons with disability, the rebate is 50%. So the positions to be contested for at the regions are regional chairman, regional first vice chairman, regional second vice chairman, regional secretary, deputy regional secretary, regional treasurer, regional organizer, regional women's organizer, regional youth organizer, regional Nasara organizer, and regional communication officer. For a person to qualify to contest in the regional election, once again, you must be a registered member of the party. You must be in good standing, which means you should have paid your dues at least in the last year or in the last 4 years for regional officers, Then resides and votes in the region. Must be an active party member in the region for at least 2 years and must not have forfeited. Persons entitled to vote in the regional elections are all members of the Regional Executive Committee, all members of Parliament, NPP members of Parliament in the region, all members of the Constituency Executive Committee, all regional representatives of the National Council, 10 members of the Regional Council of Elders, 10 members of the regional patrons, TESCOM president from each recognized TESCOM institution or tertiary institution in the region, all founding members from the region who are signatories to the registration document of the party at the Electoral Commission. The presence of at least 1/3 of the delegates of the regional conference shall be necessary to constitute the quorum for the delegate conference. Then lastly, national elections. National elections. National party officers elections. The elections shall be supervised by the National Elections Officers Committee, and these are the composition. For National Officers Elections Committee, we have 3 representatives appointed by the National Executive Committee, one of whom shall be the chairperson. National Council of Elders chairperson, the Director of Electoral Affairs, 2 elderly women appointed by the National Executive Committee, and Director of IT. For nomination fees, if you want to contest for the National Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the nomination cost is 50,000 Ghana cedis. For Vice Chairpersons, it's 30,000 Ghana cedis. For General Secretary, if you want to unseat me, you have to pay 25,000 Ghana cedis. All other positions is 10,000 Ghana cedis. For special rings, Nasara, women, youth, and person with disability, they shall pay 8,000 Ghana cedis. National Officers Elections Committee shall, in consultation with the National Executive Committee, prepare detailed guidelines for the conduct of the National Officers Elections. So with respect to National Officers Election, a detailed guideline will be presented in due course. But in all this, it is expected that all aspirants shall be required to strictly adhere to the following code of conduct. All aspirants shall campaign on issues and refrain from leveling unsubstantiated allegations, personal attacks, and vilifications against their opponents. No aspirant shall undertake any activity that will polarize the party along tribal, religious, and other factional lines. Aspirants shall also require their supporters not to engage in any of the activities stated above. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the detailed guidelines for the New Patriotic internal party elections for 2026. Thank you very much for your patience.